they're kind of arguing and it all gets really heated. And I think if you know you can work well together, and because obviously for Jason it's a completely different role because he's normally the lead singer.
Right.
So it's kind of, if you can, he's doing backing vocals, but and also he writes, he used to write all the tracks for the Unassisted. They've kind of reinvented themselves to the Dead Replicas. So it's all, I think go for it, really. I think whatever works for you, and I think sometimes reinventing is important, maybe.
Well, it can be. I mean, it just depends on which direction you go in, right? Because there's change and then there's drastic change, right? The only thing is it can really go either way. I mean, it's a matter of how they do it, right? Because some people will be receptive to it and some people won't, and that's just the way it is, regardless of what kind of style of music they're playing.
Yeah, I think you're always going to lose some fans, aren't you, along the way, which happens naturally anyway, I think. But then you gain new fans, don't you? That's the idea. Is you kind of and it's never, not everything's going to please everybody. But I think if you keep a variety within your tracks, then you kind of can hook in people, can't you, as you go? But I'm pretty impressed with that, so I'll look forward to hearing kind of more tracks from them as they, write them and listening to their album in the summer. Presumably then, I presume they'll go on a kind of tour, or they'll be planning gigs and stuff to promote it.
Right on. So the one thing I was thinking about, because I work 2 overnights a week, so usually I have time to kind of work on NMS, and we watch movies and stuff as well. And my coworker's working with, she hadn't seen Star Wars Rogue One.
Right.
And we finally watched it, I seen it in theaters, but so we watched it last week, and it was so funny because she was so so excited by it because she hadn't seen it, and she's like, "Oh, this is really a lot better than I thought it was going to be." And because I pointed out, there's a lot of little quote unquote Easter eggs in there, right? So extra footage. I mean, a guy's been dead for 20 years,
That is extra footage.
Well, because the first one, because of special effects and CG, that sort of thing. The first hour, maybe half hour, 40 minutes. One of the commanders was from the original Star Wars, and he's literally been dead about 20 years.
My word!
But they still worked him in. It was pretty cool because as soon as I saw that, I was like, isn't he dead? Well, and just other things when they run into the 2 guys from the cantina, the guy's like, "I don't like you. He doesn't like you,"
Yeah, I like that.
So
I used to like that. I used to like the music in that as well.
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, and there's that, right? And there's like I said, just a few small things here and there. I mean, and I personally, even though it only lasted for maybe a minute, it's probably one of the badass Vader fight scenes. He just goes nuts, killing people, but just using every power he has, so he's using his lightsaber, but he's also tossing guys up to the ceiling, using the choke, and everything else is pretty cool. He just literally goes nuts, and doesn't say a word the entire time, right? So, but you go from that extreme to watching Dogma the following night, and Dogma's the Kevin Smith movie, and
okay.
That's there's in the movie there's Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Selma Hayek, Chris Rock. Alan Rickman.
Yeah. God, I love him.
And he plays the Angel of Metatron, and it's pretty funny. Right. I mean, it's a satirical comedic view on dogmatic law in religion. So it's not to be taken seriously at all. It's literally just a joke. Because
it's funny. Because I haven't been to the pictures for ages and ages and ages, and I went recently because there's a new cinema sort of locally that was one of those old-fashioned types here with sticky floor and really dodgy seats, in need of repair. And they've put some money into it. These new owners. It's now got 3 screens. But I went to see the latest King Kong.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, not that interested in it, to be honest with you.
No. I wasn't either. It was the only option. You know what it's like? You turn up and you go, okay, great, I'm at the cinema. So what's on? And he went, oh, okay. And I saw it, and it's got some good actors in it, but it was pretty cheesy, I
Mm.
have to say. The special effects are fairly good, but I don't know, it didn't. When they kind of sell it and they have these interviews, they're sort of saying, oh, the storyline's this, that, and the other, and it's all before Kong. There wasn't any of that. It was the typical kind of wheel out the girl, having the kind of affection with him, and I just thought, oh, it was a bit kind of, okay, I'm just here. I've been to the cinema. Okay. It was a shame, but and I don't even think seeing it on a big screen made it any better, which is not very good thing to say.
Fair enough.
Normally you'd go, well, at least seeing it on a big screen, you saw all the effects, but actually, no, it's not one I'd particularly recommend. But anyway.
The one thing I'm looking forward to seeing is the remake of It. And
oh yeah, I've heard.
and the
Yeah.
trailer's up and it comes out in September, so I'm pretty pumped to see it because I want to see it looks pretty cool. I just hope they didn't go overboard in rebooting it.
Right.
Because for the most part it was a pretty basic movie. The plot was cool. It was more supposed to be creepy than horror, right? And
Yeah.
I still think it's awesome and funny that it was Tim Curry who did Pennywise the Clown.
Well, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's fantastic. Yeah, it was all around the acting, wasn't it? Really.
Well, that's right. When would you ever guess, or would you ever guess that the guy doing the clown voice is Tim Curry? I never would have guessed that. When I saw the credits for the first time, I was like, "Holy crap, really?" Because never would have guessed that in a million years. And not because
he's so versatile. I know.
well, yeah, it's not because he can't switch his voices around and do different characters. I wasn't expecting something that creepy, right? But then when you think about it, it's like, oh, it makes sense. Because a friend and I were talking about the other day. He said, like, so when it comes out, because we have to go see it. She's like, oh, yeah, no, they totally want to see it. And, so I was impressed the first one. I was like, what, really? She's like, well, maybe because made in the 80s. I go, oh, come on. It was still creepy as hell. Come on. And I was like, come on, Georgie, don't you want a balloon? And then she said, okay, now that was creepy. See, and I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's what...
But I think it's like all of that. It's all the psychology behind it, isn't
Right.
it? And I think if they overplay it with, I don't know, special effects, or like you say, they take away the essence of how it was written and what it was about.
Right.
And I think, do you know who's going to play the lead then in it?
No, I just kind of skipped through it really quickly before I nodded
Right.
off, so I didn't. I'm gonna have to watch it again. To be honest with you.
I'll have to. But a friend was mentioning it the other day, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't realise that they were going to do that. So, but yeah, cool.
All right. Well, we're gonna play one more song, and I got one more quick sidetrack here, and then we're gonna get Lemonade Kid on the line. But I just want to bring this up because I know I've mentioned the show before. It's like a Canadian show called Trailer Park Boys, and the past 3 seasons have been on Netflix. And what they did when initially the show started, it went about 8 and 9 seasons before they stopped and took a break and kind of came back. And his point being is one of the guys in it, Ricky. He's the actor that plays him convinces you that he really is that stupid. And it's funny because they have what's called Rickyism. So it's just basic English phrases that he messes up or doesn't realize he said it. For instance, goes, "Oh, looks like a tropical earthquake blew through here," Or I'm not a pessimist. I'm an optometrist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the reason why, go ahead.
No, go on.
All I was gonna say is the season's out. The new season's out now, starting on the 31st, and I saw that trailer come up. It's like, okay, I gotta watch the trailer to see what it's about. See it, and the one of the newest ones, I was dying laughing. It was to me, it was really funny. His new one is keep your friends close to your enemy's toaster. It's like, that is gold right there.
Oh, that's really funny.
And he says this stuff with such conviction, right? So he actually thinks he's so.
I like that better, actually.
So yeah, I saw that. I was just dying laughing. It's like, I can't wait for the season.
Fabulous. Brilliant.
All right. So next up, since we're just talking about Dead Replicas, we have a new song by them. We're gonna play Plastic Sun. Do you have anything you want to say on this first before we go ahead?
Well, again, this is Jason is in this band. It was the unassisted, and they've now kind of reinvented themselves. So it's the same lineup. So it's Mark, Jason, and Chris. Chris on the drums, Mark on the bass, and Jason lead vocals and guitar. And Jason predominantly writes the songs. I know they kind of jam together and develop the song. And they're actually working on new stuff this year, so they're hoping to bring out an album towards the end of the year. So yeah, brilliant.
Right on. Well, here we go with Plastic Sun by Dead Replicas. Take this. Right on. That was Dead Replicas with Plastic Sun. Now, they've reinvented themselves, but Jay's vocals are always so distinct, and that's not a bad thing, mind you. And you can always tell it's him because like he, he's he's got a good range, but it's a little bit more deep, but still cool, and he still makes it sound like kind of like Joe Strummer from the Clash.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer his vocals on this, and I've said it to him before because you can really hear the dynamism in his vocals within